for a sixth form teacher, which seems quite simple, is just making sure that you're comfortable and confident in class and you can really just reflect your personality, because I think when you're in a small class, it's good to get to know the people around you. Makes a much more interesting atmosphere, can also make students more comfortable asking questions and actually furthering their learning and what they understand of the subject.
Yeah, I agree. Like, sort of getting to know the teacher on a more personal level is way more important in sixth form, I think, because obviously the class is smaller, as you said, and it just helps the atmosphere to learn. But I think the most important thing for me is to remember that we're not like year 7, we can't use the same techniques as you use like Key Stage 3 class.
I see.
We don't want to be sort of like doing marketplace activities all the time, going around the classrooms. Like, it is good sometimes to just go back to basics, sit down, and sort of like teacher speaks to us, we can read, do our research, independent learning, because we do need to learn how to learn on our own, because we're going on to university soon, so we can't always have these exciting activities, because that's not what we're going to need in a few years' time.
Yeah, I think following on from that, it's important that teachers understand sort of our need to do our own thing sometimes, and that, you know, by this point we've been in school for almost our entire lives, and that a lot of us are quite comfortable in what we know, and the fact that we know ourselves and we know how we study. So in lessons, you know, in my experience, teachers are very respectful about, you know, they'll let you work the way that's best for you, and I feel that that should be pretty common amongst all teachers, that they are open to just letting you do yourself and working how you work best.
Yeah, I think the main thing to take from us is knowing that there is a distinction between a lower school and a sixth form, and that not all methods are transferable. So it is a lot more independent and personal in a sixth form rather than in the lower school. Because obviously, with 12-year-olds, you don't want to be acting friendly with them. You need to set up an authority, and although there is still authority in the sixth form, it is a lot easier to get along with teachers because you need to be able to ask questions, and like it's a lot more one-to-one basis.
Thank you. Do you have any questions for us, sixth formers?
When you say smaller classes, how many per subject? I mean, you varies from subject to subject.
Yeah, it varies from subject to subject. Obviously, my smallest class has got 4 people in it. Obviously, it is different for a sixth form and for colleges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the standards maybe 15 or so, just
Yeah.
half of lower school class.
Yeah. My biggest class has got about 12. Anything else?
Okay, thank you very much.
Not in this way. I'm a dream that died by light of day. Gonna hold up half the sky and say, only I own me. Now feel my heart beating. I feel my heart.
Quite soon, it's a bit scary. And the thing I really notice, which I think makes a good teacher, especially around my age, is actually the amount of intervention, extra work a lot of teachers will put in. So, for instance, I mean, you might have seen the lists as they're going around, but they've got intervention lists up for year 11 students. So pretty much every day after school there's a different subject doing some kind of extra classes, extra revision classes. And that is actually, although I might not admit it at the time, it is really appreciated by most of the students. And another example of that is during these Easter holidays coming up, the entire first week of that, there'll be people coming in for extra revision sessions. And I mean, teachers are people too, this is a big kind of strain in their lives, but you do really appreciate it because it's these extra revision sessions which actually enable us to pass our exams and do quite well. And in addition to that, I'd say just the general attitude around teachers. And when you hit year 11, you really feel that the teachers are on your side. And if a teacher's kind of willing to hold you back, or they're willing to put in extra time, it's less of a punishment now. And I think it's more of a gift in some ways.
It takes 5 years to get to that.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's only now that I can really appreciate how much effort teachers put in generally. So I would say if you are going to become a teacher, and I do recommend it, I would be willing to put in all the effort for your students, and they may not be the most grateful sometimes, but when it gets to the end and they've got those A's and A stars, I think you'll find a lot of students writing you cards to say thank you.
Turn your magic on with me, she'd say everything you want to dream away. We are legends every day. That's what she told me. Turn your magic on to me, she'd say everything you want to dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, we are diamonds, and I feel my heart.
Because we're from class to class, and I only have single periods, because I'm only doing my, I haven't made options yet, so I do every single subject. It's, when I go to lesson, they're all the same. It becomes really, really boring. It's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to say, but having different sort of things each lesson, like group work, sometimes in English you do like role play to act out books, to understand them more about how a character feels, and science practicals. It's all, I think it's finding different classes what works best for them, because different classes, different abilities have different things that work for them. Yesterday in geography, we were acting out waves and rocks and with miming, and it didn't make any sense. But now we remember when we write it, because we can link back to that. Because I'm quite a visual learner, just like Miss, I have to see things and write them down to remember them. And I have links to things. It's hard when we have so many lessons to keep writing and keep doing the same thing. It becomes really, really boring. I know that's really harsh, but when you're in school for 6 hours and you're continuously writing, it is really hard and we don't really get much out of it. It's really important to have different types of lessons, like structures, and when I've been doing a lot of observing classes, it's different how, it's nice to have pictures of different ways of doing things. Like one teacher had envelopes and you look inside and all different things. And I think that's really, I don't know, it's just nice as well when you have a planned lesson that has nice activities, because you know that teachers put in the effort, rather than just saying, oh, write this, do that, do this. And you've got a nice, engaging lesson. It's really, you come out of it learning a lot more than just a normal sort of boring start and main plenary lesson. It's just that bit more that you'll remember and you'll get out of it. Yeah.